This is an interesting one. Make a death pool board for Desert Bus. I don't know if I want to do... I'm going to explain what that means. Each person should guess what final hour count they think it will end at this year. Oh. Yeah, it's like... basically, it's a crash pool, or maybe something like that, or like an ending pool, or something along that line.
Like when this bus will end?
When maybe not just for. I mean, it would be really funny when this bus crashes, because every night we always end up with a new bus. I think it's the idea of like, what do we think the final hour count will end up being?
I mean, we do that internally anyway.
Yeah, prior to the bus and then during the bus. Like, we're already up to what, 158?
Yep.
158 and we're at 109 or one.
Almost 110.
110 of 158, yeah.
Something
I'd actually noticed at the moment, I feel like we're at currently one of the closest to lined up. The clock in the bus is like an hour or it's 58 minutes ahead of the clock, of the real clock of where we are, which I feel like is
just about
unusually close.
Yeah,
Okay.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
What time does the clock start at when you save up?
I don't know.
Yeah, I bet you Ian does.
Ian definitely does.
Give chat 30 seconds, they'll tell us.
We've never actually tried to make the bus start at the time that the bus starts in the game, though, I don't think.
Oh,
7:30.
The clock starts at 7:30.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, but we've never actually picked 7:30 as a time to start, so yeah.
Because I mean, theoretically, that'd be fun. Except as soon as you crash, it would go out.
Everything goes off.
And so we're not gonna wait till the next 7:30 to start the bus again.
And then also, when you get to the end of the run, like when you score a point, is the clock still maintaining? Is it still counting what it's doing?
Or would it like jump? It should like jump forward. You would think.
You'd assume.
Right. So sit in the station for a while.
Yeah.
Presumably.
And then if you leave it on the, like, if we always like spam the start button to get through the thing to get back to playing the game again. If you didn't do that, the game eventually just ends, right? Like the game is like, you got a point, and then it just goes game over at some point.
The clock continues. It says.
Okay.
Oh. Well, if
it's interesting that they don't. You would think that they might just like use the internal clock of the Sega CD and actually just put up the right time.
Yeah.
But I guess they wanted to line up with the day-night cycle, though, I guess, in the game.
I would guess that if we were going to... Like, the thing is, people have already posted in chat, it's like, okay, so 167 is the max that we've hit in a run. Which means that if... The problem is that all of us knowing that on the run, like, when do you think this is going to end? It's like, I don't know, 166, 167. You just have a bunch of people guessing that, right?
Yeah. I mean, we definitely
167 is pretty safe.
You know, then the trick with the logarithmic expansion of the time of the no, it's not logarithmic. Anyway, whatever. Exponential. Is that it? It reaches a pretty. It becomes 100, 200,000 per hour at a certain point.
Yeah.
So it definitely slows down.
You need someone silly to come in and just drop a huge amount of money to keep it moving along.
I mean, we keep switching it's certainly in the last couple of years have been pretty consistent. But there was a few years there where it was sort of increasing by quite a lot every year, and so we had a lot of trouble. We would keep changing the start time. We'd be like, should we start earlier? And we kept pushing it earlier and earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
So that we would, in the hopes that we would end at sort of prime time. And then we were like, okay, we can't push it any earlier. Let's push it later so that we'll end at prime time.
Yeah.
And we'll just go all the way around.
It's always made me laugh whenever it's been like, oh, we'll be fine. We'll end around like in the middle of Night Watch. And it's like, it's Zeta time. Get out of my chair. It's like, no, it's Omega Shifter. It sounds like it's Zeta time. Get out of my chair. Like, I'm running this sucker. Like, this is supposed to be my time now, right? But yeah, I mean, the invention of Omega Shift was a pretty good nod to be like, we know when we can wind that down, and we know that from this point on we shouldn't get another 6 hours in before everything starts to come to an end.
And we try to, like, we do talk about, like, usually in the last hour or whatever, because there's an awkward aspect of, like, we do all our thank yous and say goodbye, and then the hour ticks, and then people make it to the next hour, and then we're like, oh, well, now we have another hour to kill. This is awkward. So we've done a thing for a while, we often do a thing where we will end it and basically, like, stop donations or say, like, we're not going to go anymore, but then do another hour of sort of thank yous and everything, just sort of for safety.
Yeah, and if it was me, I'd be like, nah, we're done driving. Or, I mean, or if we've said all our thank yous and everything else, I'd just be like, well, then everyone else should just leave the room and the driver should have to drive for the next hour unassisted. It's like, you paid for this, that's what you paid for.
All the entertainment has ended, but the desert bus will continue.
Yeah. And it's, I think I like the spirit, though, of chat getting so wound up, like the whole community getting wound up to be like, we gotta try to get them to do another hour. We have to put a wrench in their plans. Like, it's like, we're gonna be here tomorrow or the next couple of days to stream more stuff at you. Like, it's okay. Like, you'll see us again. But it's like, no, we don't want it to stop. And it's like, I get that. But this is pretty cozy.
Yeah. But then there's also a certain point where, like, when we're, if we're doing, like, the thank yous and everything, having chat or the audience being like, struggle, you sort of do it's nice that people can, at a certain point, people can just kind of relax and be like, okay, it's not going to go to the next hour, that's fine, we're all very happy, the total is an amazingly large number, and I mean, let's all just enjoy this.
Everybody all has the same idea. Like, I just saw Evil Dr. Reef say, someday when I'm a billionaire, I'm going to swoop in and pay for a whole extra hour at the end just to prolong the suffering. It's like, yeah, bring it. Like, again, same thing, the other elephant. We all have this, like, everybody who runs Desert Bus has the same idea too. We all want to be the person to just come in and screw with the total at the end. If I won the lottery this week, because I have a ticket that I need to check at some point, if I ended up winning the lottery this week, I wouldn't tell anybody. That would be how you'd find out.
If I won the lottery, I would tell other bus people, because I would need to get their opinions on what the funniest time to drop $1 million is.
Ooh. Right now, Boomer, come on. Right as James is saying, and all right, that's it, we're not accepting any more. And there it is.
You do it in the room while all the stuff is being talked about. You're in the room on your phone.
Just quietly do it on your phone.
Yeah. And just, your username is sit down, James.
What's stand up, James?
Although, I will say, from a purely practical standpoint, in truthfulness, you can't actually do that. PayPal and various other things do not operate at that level. Like, if we're talking
processing a $200,000
if we're
donation.
talking billionaires dropping millions of dollars, there's different circumstances that have to happen, because those size of transactions can't really be done through PayPal.
I thought about this too, though, because I was like, okay, if I got to drop $200,000, if I, again, millionaire, whatever. But it's like, if I have to drop $200,000 to make that happen, I've actually just made it really weird for next year, because part of the fun is seeing the community come together to push donations, right? And we did have one year where we didn't exceed what we had done in the previous year, and it was such a great relief to everyone on the working committee, because we were all like, it's finally happened. We know what our plateau is. It's $700,000. We're never going to make any more money than $700,000.
And that is a great, nice, high amount.
Yeah, and it's a relief to go out on, knowing that you're not going to have to try to push to be like, how far are we going to go? We know we can plan from now on. It's never going to be a problem for us ever again.
And then these people happened.
So you said how much money we were never gonna.
We were never gonna get past $700,000, and like we have more
Right, Chad,
nights.
you've got
We're gonna
an
do that
hour
today.
To get us to 700,000. Let's go.
But it was lovely knowing that it was like that. Seeing the next year that it's like we exceeded that, and then we exceeded it again, and we exceeded it again, and it's like as long as nobody in chat is going hungry or going homeless, to be able to be a part of the donation scheme, I'm like, that's great. Like, bring it on. If that's what you guys are comfortable doing, I am very happy to see that go up all the time, and I love that it's generated by people who are feeling like the little bit that I give and the little bit that somebody else gives, we're all getting to a bigger total, and we're all participating in this thing. And there isn't kind of a thing of, oh, we cracked into our 170 on this one and we'll never make it back there again. Or it'll take years before we're able to crack that one. And it might start to feel like, cracking an unattainable goal, or like beating a personal best that you're never going to actually make it past, or, you know, it's a world record and therefore you'll never be able to meet that world record. I'm like, I wouldn't want people to start feeling discouraged about seeing that happen.
Is this about you uploading the poster to the store?
It's okay.
And
if
how
we
you
don't
choked
hit. Yeah.
completely and utterly?
In my defense, I had everything set up on my phone the last time I did it to do it the fastest I possibly could, purely by accident.
And then you hit the wrong button.
Yeah, then I hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
It's like, and I could do that again. I could just set up everything. I'm like, I don't think it
Yeah,
would
we
be
need
honest.
3 for an average. Come on, Beach.
All right. I mean, I did it today. Were you in the room when I? Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. So
there has been 3.
We have been 3 so far.
Okay.
And I think what I'm going to do next time is I'm going to restart my phone so it starts from scratch, so that when I and I'll at least
you're gonna power up your phone as part of the.
No. But I am gonna I'm gonna power it down. I'm gonna power it back on. I'm gonna log in once with my passcode so my face can unlock the phone.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna launch apps or do anything else. I'm not gonna have anything open that should lead me to where I need to go.
Different category of speedrun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So the other one's like an any %.
Yeah, this is more of a reboot %, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
On a fresh %, or whatever you want to call it.
The